I was going to make a video comparing 17th century poets Robert Burns and Robert Ferguson, but then I thought, nah, let's go for the more intellectual debate. Let's talk about how every character in Snow White is really, really dumb. So I actually hadn't seen Snow White before. I wasn't aware that she actually talked in it. I just thought it was like a silent movie where like maybe she sang and the dwarfs sang that Hi-Ho song. I thought maybe the whole thing was going to be 20 minutes. It was a lot longer. I was very surprised. I was also very surprised about the dwarfs because they live in what appears to be a one-bedroom bungalow where 7 of them are in one small room, all with single beds and a pretty small kitchen. And my issue with this isn't that the dwarfs are poor, it's just the fact that the dwarfs' job is to mine diamonds. Like that their job, off to work where we go, their work is as diamond miners. This means one of two things. It either means these dwarfs are mining diamonds and then burning them as coal, or using them as food, or it means these dwarfs are mining diamonds for some diamond company who is convincing the dwarfs that these items are worthless and then paying them below minimum wage. Because even with no qualifications, those 6 dwarfs should be earning a lot more. And Doc, I said 6 dwarfs because Doc is clearly not a medical professional, but he does have a doctorate, he has a PhD, he should be earning a lot more than what he is. Maybe this is all a really grim commentary on how much university is and college, because Doc spent all the family money on his doctorate and now they're having to pay that loan back. So clearly what we have with the 7 dwarfs is a stark commentary on tuition costs, because for Doc to get his doctorate, the 6 other dwarfs have had to work in the mines every day, mining diamonds just to pay off tuition fees, and even mining what appears to be a wagon of diamonds each, it's still barely enough to make ends meet. They rely on local forest creatures to bring them most of their meals, and I don't even want to think about healthcare because by the looks of them, I don't think they're getting any. I don't think it's advised for old men with white beards to be down a mine shaft, but then again, that may only be the effects of said mine shaft. These dwarfs could merely be young men or young boys. It's never specified that they're a magical creature, it's just specified that they're dwarfs, meaning they're small. It's very likely these are just young boys that have been sent down a mine very young and had their growth stunted by the conditions, the cramped conditions of the mine. What they also have to worry about is potentially Dopey's medical bill. Now I imagine a lot of people thought this was just a silly character, but now you can clearly see Dopey is a character that has been greatly damaged by the smoke inhalation and the cramped conditions of the mines, to the extent where he is now non-communicative and possesses no real ability to understand the linearity of a conversation. Another issue I have with Snow White is the stepmother. She is a woman whose main ambition is to be the prettiest woman in the land. And you know, I admire that. It's a clear motive, you know? It's very clear what she wants, she knows what she wants and she's out to get it. But the way she gets it is, well, but the way she tries to get it is really dumb and makes no sense. Because when you kill someone, they don't stop being beautiful, they just stop being alive. Audrey Hepburn and Marilyn Monroe are people who I think are dead, but they're known as the most beautiful women ever. So even if the stepmother had killed Snow White, her plan would not have worked. She could have simply just put a really ugly hair dye in Snow White's shampoo. Because the reason Snow White is beautiful is because she has black hair and red lips. Change her lipstick out for a really bad brand that makes her lips all dry and crackly, gives her cold sores, allergic reactions. Just replace her lip balm with vapor rub. I'm unsure what that would do, but the effects would be kind of bad. Or even just befriend her and give her some really bad skincare advice. Tell her to rub her hair and her face in oil every day and convince her that shampoo is a lie sold to us women to make us buy things, and that in the wild we wouldn't have needed shampoo. Snow White was also, as I believe, 13, which means she was about to start a very awkward time of her life. And it would be awkward because she would break out a lot. So if the Queen had just given her a lot of chocolate, a lot of greasy foods, just ensured that her acne flares up quite a bit, and then given her really bad skincare advice. What you would have then, it wouldn't be an ugly child because spots don't make you ugly. It would just mean that you weren't the beautifulest of them all because her skin would have been perfect. And if we're really going to look at women's face and judge a woman just by the way she looks, yeah, I guess you would have won that battle. But do you know who loses that battle? Women everywhere. I'm going to call it the Huntsman here because he brings the Queen back a pig's heart. And then the Queen looks in the mirror and says, "So am I the prettiest of them all yet?" And the mirror spits back saying, "No, still Snow White." Because the Huntsman immediately should have said, "But I killed her. I guess that didn't work. I guess you should have just dyed her hair green or something." And then the Queen would have been, oh, I guess you're right. Let's talk about Snow White herself. Snow White, I believe, is older in the Disney movie, but in the Grimm's fairy tale she is maybe like 12. And so you could argue she's not dumb, she's just a kid. But the reason why she's dumb is because she finds herself running away from the stepmom that wants to kill her. And she runs to a house with 7 dwarfs and they say, "We'll protect you." And oh, that's another reason why the dwarfs are dumb. They all have pickaxes. They know how to use them and they never just like hack the Queen to death. Anyway, we've passed the dwarf thing now. It's over. It's done. So, so Snow White is in this place with the dwarfs. And the dwarfs tell her, no matter what happens, don't answer that door. It'll be someone evil trying to kill you. This Queen is really powerful. She can shapeshift into anything, into anyone. Do not trust anyone that comes to that door. Now, if you told the average 11 to 12-year-old that, or even just the average 4-year-old, they would pretty much not only stay away from the door, but potentially lock themselves in their room and just not come out at all. Potentially hide under the bed. I don't know. I know that would have freaked me out as a kid. But Snow White, oh, that girl is fearless. Which isn't a positive thing. The apple thing in the actual Grimm's fairy tale, it's not the first time it happened. Someone came to her door and offered her a necklace and said, "Here, buy this pretty necklace." And even though she was warned about murderers, was like, "Sure, I'll wear the necklace." Again, this was an excellent opportunity for the Queen just to get her something really ugly, because it's clear that this girl will just wear anything that's given to her by an old person because she's just too socially awkward to say no. And Snow White puts the necklace on and she chokes. And the dwarfs come in and they save her before she dies. But you would think after being choked to death by a mystical necklace, you would be wary of someone trying to force you to buy an apple when there are literally dozens of apple trees outside. Why would you spend money on this, Snow White? Who taught you economics? I'm gonna talk about the prince as well. Alright, picture this. It's medieval Europe. The toilet is everywhere. You haven't bathed in months. The plague is at its peak. People are dying in the street. It is not uncommon to be walking through the forest and just see a mass unmarked grave of plague victims that are being burnt. And as you're riding through the forest, you see a girl in a coffin who you presume is dead or sleeping. I'm unsure which is less creepy. But knowing full well that being anywhere near any sort of death or decay means disease and plague, he takes the lid off the coffin and gives her a little kiss on the lips. Like, that is a dead person. You live in the time of plague. You also live in the time of no hygiene. This body has not been embalmed and it's a dead person. And your first instinct is to go over and give it a little peck on the lips. So, in conclusion, everyone in Snow White is dumb. Except maybe Doc, who might have a doctorate, but even still, he's academically smart, but he is not smart enough to know that he can save some of the diamonds in a separate bank account and build up money for his future. So yeah, they're all dumb. And if you disagree, then I'm sorry. I really don't know what this video was. I'm really not passionate about any of this. Hello, welcome to the end screen. I'm really bad at these. But here are some other videos you can watch that are probably a lot better and funnier than this one. This was definitely a rush job. But I'm trying to do a video a week now. Because I've been making YouTube videos on and off for like 6 years. And I really want to just have the confidence to just put stuff out. And so I'm going to do that by just putting stuff out. Amazing! I'm not actually going to play this, by the way, but I got it for Christmas and I just wanted you to see it.